Hello, Chris. Are we
So
waiting
let
for more
me,
people to join?
because I think she's still trying to admit our guest. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I think everyone is in now. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, depending on whatever part of the world that you are joining from. You are very much welcome to um, today's webinar. Um, Basically, we are going to talk about um, GBS Malta and everything that you need to know about GBS Malta. Am I very audible? I think I can get feedback
Not
from my
so
end.
audible.
Okay, let me check my volume. Okay, how about now? Is it
Yeah, it's
better?
better. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Daniel and Emmanuel, for the feedback. Apologies. All right. So, like I said, the conversation today is going to be about one of the schools that we work with here at Uni College. Um, I mean, this webinar became very absolutely important because we have had or we have been getting a lot of questions, right? A lot of inquiries, questions, regarding this particular school that we have been promoting for some time now, right? So we want to talk about a school in Malta, all the way in Europe. I know we have been getting a lot of, questions regarding Europe. People ask, oh, is it just Canada? Is it just UK? Is it just US, Australia? Of course not. I mean, we have an option here now in Europe that I believe everyone is in, a lot of people are interested in, and that is why we thought to have this conversation, um, to make you understand and talk to you about everything that you need to know about GBS Malta. Guys, welcome once again. Thank you for joining this webinar, and we will be joined today by someone really special. We were able to get her to join us today because we know I mean you guys mean a lot to us, right? You are important to us. I always say that we are here because you are here, right? So without you, then there's no Skynet, there's no Uni College, right? So today we are going to be joined by Ms. Chinyere. Chinyere is one of the recruitment managers, that international recruitment managers at GEDU at GBS Group, and she's overseeing operations and recruitment across Africa. Guys, hi Chinyere, can you hear us? Are you still with us?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, I guess we have to pin the video. So, okay,
Okay.
okay, right, great. So, hi, Chinyere, it's good to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah. So yeah, Chinyere, we'll just get started, guys. Apologies for starting a bit late. We had some technical issues that we needed to quickly address. Well, I'm glad we are here now and everything is working fine now. So, Chinyere, do you want to start off with a brief intro and very short presentation from the end before we start off with the questions and answers?
Okay, okay. So I don't need to share my screen, right? So I can just do a brief introduction and we'll start the question.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Okay. Okay. So hello, everyone. Yeah. So once again, my name is Chinyere. I'm the rep for GBS Malta. So on today's webinar, we will be talking about Malta as a study destination, and we'll also be talking about GBS, which is our institution in Malta. So yes, Malta is not a popular destination for most of us. Just like Chris said, people are going to UK, talking about UK, Canada, Australia, and the rest of them. Now, Malta happens to be one of the countries that are in Europe that is coming up for international students, and Malta has a lot of amazing perks for international students who want to go to Europe to study. So our institution is GBS Malta. It's GBS. GBS means Global Banking School. GBS is located in St. Julian's. St. Julian's is the second largest city in Malta. And so we have basically business courses that are available at GBS. So just to do a little intro about Malta. Malta is a European country, is a Schengen country located in the Mediterranean. So Malta has a lot of highlights or a lot of features. First of all is, I know students, we want to travel abroad, we want to go to countries where there won't be any language barrier. You want to go to countries where the weather is very friendly. You want to go to countries where you can wake up in the evening, you decide to travel weekends, you can go on holiday and all of that. Then Malta got you covered. In Malta, official language in Malta is English language. So you don't have any language barriers. They speak Maltese and they also speak English language. Malta offers a lot of good weather. So in Malta, there is a very conducive weather. Malta is an island too, so the weather is very conducive. Malta is has also good culture, is multicultural. In Malta you see a lot of buildings, all these ancient buildings. There are a lot of them in Malta, and some of the interesting highlights is also free public transport. All international students in Malta have access to free public transportation in Malta. So as long as you're a student and you're studying in Malta, you have access to transport in Malta. Another interesting highlight about Malta is that students have access to all Schengen countries. Yes, you heard me right. So there are 29 Schengen countries, and as a student, you're going to Malta with a Schengen student visa. And with this Schengen student visa, you have access to all Schengen countries, meaning you can travel to France, you can travel to Spain, you can travel to Germany, all the Schengen countries. As a student, you have access to visit all these countries. And then Malta is one of the safest countries to live in. So meaning that it's a very conducive place to live in. And Malta also offers a good employment opportunity. In Europe, Malta is one of the countries in Europe with the lowest unemployment rates. So meaning that as a student, there are so many job opportunities for you in Malta. And as a student also in Malta, you have 20 hours per week to work as a student living in Malta. And also the cost of living is very favorable in Malta. You can get a room as 500 to 650 shared apartments. You can eating out is about 25 euros per person. So there are a lot of opportunities for students who want to go to Malta to study. And at GBS, we welcome international students. It will interest you all to know that 50% of our students at GBS are Nigerian students. We have a lot of Nigerian students who are currently in our campus in Malta. So half of our students in Malta in GBS are Nigerian students. So we are open to students coming into our campus to study. We give them all the necessary assistance that they need from our classrooms. We have a well-equipped classroom with the latest technology for learning. We have experienced lecturers, and we also have a very small classroom size. This is to enable students to have one-on-one personal interaction with the students. We have the student support team, we have the career team, we have the welfare team, and then we have the student alumni. So all these are some of the assistance and support we provide to all our students who come to our campus in Malta. Just like I said at the beginning, we have mainly business courses. So we have the MBA program, which we have 5 specializations. So students who are going for the MBA at GBS will have to choose either marketing management consulting, project management, entrepreneurship, and global investment banking. Now, these 5 programs or 5 specializations are under the MBA program, and it's for 1 year. Yes, you heard me right. The MBA is just for 1 year, and the tuition is 10,000 euros. And we also have a 25% scholarship for students for May intake. So the current intake at the moment is May intake, and the scholarship is 25%. We also have the MA Marketing and Brand Management, MA Business Management, and then the bachelor's program, BSc in Business and Management, also available for May intake. The tuition is 7,000 euros. There is no scholarship. And we also have the award in information technology, which is the foundation program, also available for undergraduate students who want to do a foundation year before progressing to the bachelor's program, which is also for 1 year. So this is just a brief introduction about what Malta has to offer to international students and the programs that we have at GBS Malta. So this, I believe this session is a question and answer session. We also have a conversation session. So Chris, so let's open up to the conversation.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chinyere. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, very well.
All right. Thank you very much, Chinyere, for that beautiful rundown of, why anyone should choose to study in Malta, and of course, why GBS. Right. So you did mention some of the programs that are available. You talked about the MBA program that has 5 different specific specializations to choose from. You mentioned project management, investment banking, marketing, and management. I'm not sure the other ones now. So,
yeah,
are these the only programs that are available at GBS Malta? And what are some of like the entry requirements for these programs in terms of like general entry requirements as well as the English proficiency requirements?
Okay. No, these are not just the programs. So aside the MBA program, we have only at the moment, we have only one bachelor's degree program, which is Business and Management, BA Business and Management. The tuition fee is 6,000 euros, and the duration is 3 years. So 6,000 euros per year. The duration is 3 years. And the entry requirement is that the student should have A-levels or a foundation or HND, OND, any pre-1-year degree program or pre-1-year program will lead a student to our bachelor's degree program. And then the student will also have a WAEC or NICO, SOP, SOP, then MOI. MOI means medium of instruction. That is an English proficiency letter from the student's previous school stating that the medium of instruction was in English language. So these are the requirements for the undergraduate program. Then we also have the MA Business and Management, and then have MA Marketing and Brand Management. The tuition is 7,000 euros, and we also require official transcripts, BSc certificate, original certificate. But before we start for us to start the application, we can accept the unofficial copy, that is the student copy, and the notification of result. But before we issue unconditional offer, the original certificate and of original official transcript has to be sent to us. And then the MOI is also required, recommendation letter, SOP also is also required. So these are the basic requirements for the bachelor's and the master's degree program. It will also interest you to know that the 3 programs I just mentioned now, BA Business Management, MA Business Management, and MA Marketing and Brand Management, are awarded by Spa University. So as a student, you come to GBS Malta, you study these programs. At the end of the program, your certificate would be from Spa University. Now, Spa University is one of the top universities in UK. At Spa, if you're doing any of these programs I mentioned at Spa University, you're paying £15,950 per year for any of these 3 programs I just mentioned. But at GBS, you're doing this program for just 7,000 euros, and for bachelor's for 6,000 euros. And you can see the amount you're saving. So the same certificates you get from GBS for studying this program is the same certificate. Someone pays £15,950. You're getting the same certificate. So this is a very interesting course for students. So like I mentioned, I said MA Business Management, MA Marketing and Brand Management, and BSc Business Management are 3 programs that we have at GBS. They are awarded by Spa University. So these are the programs that we have. aside the MBA that I mentioned. Now there's no scholarship for these three programs. The scholarship we have for May intake is for the MBA program alone. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Chinyere, for running us through the I think you answered about three questions in one. Thank you. I was going to move on to like the tuition fees and if there are
Okay.
scholarships available and all of those. That was supposed to be my next question, but thank you because you already did justice to that while you were speaking. So yes, as you all have heard, um, for the MBA programs at Malta, 10,000 euros per year is the tuition fees for the MBA programs. However, there is a 20% scholarship available for May 2025. As a matter of fact, you could get as much as 25% scholarship, right? Chidi, right?
Yes,
For the
25.
early bird, right? You could get as much as
Yes.
25 percent scholarship. That is amazing. That is huge. I know it was a bit more. The discount was a bit more for
Yeah.
students who are going in this January and
Yeah.
February.
Yeah.
So
Students going
now,
for January intake paid the scholarship for January intake was 40%.
40%, wow. And now because most students are coming late, students like me who is coming late. So they're having to pay more, right? So
Yeah.
what does that mean that the scholarship will be further reduced for October 2025 students?
Um, yes, I think so. Because going by the trends, right? Yeah, it's reducing. Because for October 2024 intake, it was 50% scholarship. So students who are
Mhm.
in campus and who resumed last month paid 5,000 euros only. Now, January
Wow.
was 40%, May is 25. So maybe by September intake, it will be 10%. So you have to take advantage. Students have to take advantage of that now. So if you're interested in the MBA program, now is the right time for you to contact Skynet and process your application, because May intake is currently open and admissions are closing by first week of February. So if you want to enjoy the 25% scholarship, you have to start your application process now to meet up with the May intake and enjoy the scholarship.
Wow, amazing. Thank you, Chinyere. So, guys, you heard that. Do not wait. I mean, May Tech is open. I'm taking applications. So, the earlier you took advantage of this, the better. However, please take note that this is only for the MBA programs, right? So, there are still the other programs, the Master of Art in Business and Management, then the Master of Art in Marketing and Brand Management. As you heard Chinyere say, that is 7,000 euros, right? Without a scholarship, that is a flat
Yep.
tuition of 7,000 euros. So, Chire, since we're still on finances, right? Can we hint a bit on the tuition deposit? Is there like a payment plan? Because I mean, I could see that in the chat box, some persons are already wanting to know, right? So, for this category of programs, are there like the payment plan? Can students pay in installments? Really, what's like the payment plan for international students?
Okay, yes, I think that's an interesting question. Yes, so for the MBA program that has scholarship, students are required to pay full tuition fee. Full tuition is required before visa application. However, if you want to pay in two installments, you can pay in two installments, but you have to pay up the full tuition before we start the visa process. And then for the MA, that is a Masters of Arts in Business Management, Masters of Arts in Marketing and Brand Management, and then the Business Management, that is bachelor's program. Students can pay half of the tuition fee, which is 50%. So the marketing management is going for 7,000. So students are allowed to pay 3,500. However, we encourage students to pay more than that because of their visa outcome. The more tuition you pay, Malta is very particular about the tuition fee. So the more tuition you pay, the more chances of your visa outcome. So we encourage students to pay more tuition fee, pay more than 50%. So even for the MA program that allows 50%, you can pay the 7,000 tuition fee in full. So that is it. So for MBA, you have to pay the full tuition, it's compulsory. But for the programs awarded by BATSPA, you can pay 50%.
All right. Thank you very much, Chi. That was well answered, right? So now that we've talked about the programs available, Of course, guys, you know the application process. All you have to do is send us an email, info@unicollegelink.com or info@kindnessconsult.com. We'll be glad to review your documents, have a one-on-one with you, see the programs that best fit, and then we can resume your application. You could also send us a DM across all of our social media handles. Right. Chidre, just before we move on, um,
Mm-hmm.
still on the programs, I know that the management did mention at some point that some new programs are looking to add, get some new programs on board. I think I heard something like healthcare management. Um, I mean, do we have like a time frame we're expecting these programs to come on board? Because I know that a lot of Nigerians are interested in such healthcare programs.
For now, for May intake, no, we're not adding any program for May intake. We're looking at later in the year 2025, maybe by October intake. That's when we'll possibly add more courses.
All right. Thank you very much for that. So, talking about the visa process, I mean, you mentioned that the Maltese government is particular about payment of fees and all of this stuff. So, I mean,
Yeah.
in that same breath, let's talk a bit about the visa process. Really, what was? Can you give us like a rundown of the visa process for Maltese student visa? And if there's anything at all that
Okay.
international students may be interested in.
Okay. Okay, yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, so for the visa, of course, for every admission process, the visa aspect is the most important part of your application. Because even with your admission, if you get an admission and you don't get visa, you're not traveling. So visa is very, very important aspect of your application. And as I said earlier, a Schengen student visa is required for you to travel to Malta for your studies. And the Schengen visa, student visa is a very thorough one. We have to take proper time to assess your visa documents to make sure that everything aligns properly before we submit your application, because we have a visa team that handles the visa application. So the visa process, the visa is submitted through VFS. I'm sure most of us are familiar with VFS. That's the body through which the visa application for Malta is submitted. So first of all, what are the fees that you're required to pay? So you need to pay a visa fee of 150 euros. That is the visa application fee. Then the VFS appointment fee. So as a student, you're going to go to VFS for your appointments. Before now, it was just appointment just for you to take your biometrics. But students who are going for February, who are in the process of February intake, we've now introduced the interview aspect whereby students are invited for interview. So at the point when you get the unconditional offer, we send the visa documents to you, and then you start the visa application. So the VFS appointment fee will be sent, or the VFS link will be sent to you, where you pay the VFS payments. And then when you go for VFS appointment at VFS office, that's where you pay your visa fee. Most students mistake the VFS fee and the visa fee. So visa fee is for visa, while VFS is for your appointment, VFS appointment. You're not paying any of these to us. You're not paying to anybody. You're paying to VFS. And then when you go for your appointment at VFS office, you pay your visa fee of 150 euros. And then, of course, you have to have your international passport that has to be up to date. Then you require a flight ticket, a one-way flight ticket. You can make a reservation, and the flight should not connect to any Schengen country before Malta. Malta should be the first Schengen country the flight would stop. So what that means, as a student, if you're booking your flight, you should not book Air France, because France is a Schengen country. If you book Air France, it's going to stop at at Paris before taking you to Malta. So any flights or flight connecting to any Schengen country should not be booked. So what is required is a Turkish Air, because Turkish Air will take you from Nigeria to Istanbul and then to Turkey. You can take Qatar Airways. It will take you from Nigeria to Doha and then Malta. You can take Emirates Air. So these are examples of flights that you should book. Now, you ask why this? So because students have access to Schengen countries, they don't want you to go to any Schengen country first before stopping to Malta, at Malta. So that's the reason for that. And so like I said, it's not a must that you book the flight ticket. You can make a reservation. Then a 6 months bank statement is needed. This is the interesting part of the visa process, right? Because you have to have sufficient funds in your account. Now for Malta, anybody can be your sponsor. You can be your uncle, your father, your sister, your brother. Anyone can be your sponsor as long as the person would provide a sponsorship letter, has the amount that is required in the 6 months bank statement. If the person is using a business account, all the tax documents and all the registration documents must be presented. And the amount that is needed is 10,000 euros. At least you should have at least 10,000 euros in your account or in your sponsor's account. So you can also be self-sponsored. If you're sponsoring yourself, you ought to have at least 10,000 euros in your account for the last 6 months. Now, lump sum of money is not required. It's not for you to go and get 10 euros and then deposit at once. They just want to see an inflow and an outflow and a closing balance of at least 10,000 euros. It can be more than that. And so if you're a student, you're sponsoring yourself, you have to present your pay slip, your monthly pay slip for at least 6 months. And then your income tax document as well has to be ready. And then for visa purposes, also accommodation is very important. You have to pay for accommodation of at least 1 month. 1 month accommodation is needed. Now, that's where GBS also comes in because we have accommodation options for students. We have the private room, we have the shared private room, we have the bunk. So many accommodation plans that we have. But the least one that we have is going for 640 euros for 1 month. So if you're going for that, you have to pay also 640 euros for 1 month. That is the accommodation for 1 month with GBS. Then evidence of travel medical insurance. Now, this is also required. It covers all the Schengen countries. Note that it is medical travel insurance. We've had instances where a student gets just travel insurance or gets medical insurance. No, we won't accept that. It has to be medical and travel insurance. And the insurance coverage must be up to 100,000 euros. You're not paying 100,000 euros. 100,000 euros is the insurance coverage. So if you go to an insurance company, they have so many insurance packages. They have the one of 30,000, the one 50,000, the one of 100,000. So the one that is required for your visa is the one that has 100,000 package. So the fee can vary. And at GBS, we also have an insurance partner called GuardMe Insurance, which we use. And if you're going for the 100,000 package, it goes for 540 euros for your insurance coverage. Students are also allowed to use any insurance company of their choice, as long as the insurance company is well registered and the insurance is up to 100,000 euros and it's medical travel insurance. And then also the evidence of your tuition fee. So you have to show your receipt that you've paid your full tuition, or if you're going for if it's 50% that you paid, evidence of your tuition fee has to be presented. So these are the basic visa requirements that we need.
All right, thank you, Chiyo. That was very detailed. Thank you for taking your time to run us through the visa process. I'm not sure if I heard the visa processing time, the average turnaround time for the visa. Do you
Okay,
want to
yeah,
share?
it takes, so the multi-student visa takes at least 2 months. Yeah,
Oh,
2 months. That explains why we start early. We start the admission process early and close early. Like when I
mm,
said we are closing entry for May intake in February, some people,
oh,
I mean, with May intake, why closing in February? So by first week of February, we are closing so that by end of February, we are done with all visa submission. Students have gone for their VFS. Then we have March, April. By March, April, all visas are out, and then the students start traveling. So that explains why it takes time. We start visa applications early.
all right. Thank you, Chiyo. Just before we move on, guys, I think it's important that we also mention that if you get to work with us, right? If you reach out to us, we get you your offer at GBS Malta. We are also going to assist you and support you with your visa processing, and that would come without an extra charge or an extra fee. So all you have to pay is the statutory payment, which is the visa application fee, the VFS fee, and all of those, your insurance and all of those. But we are going to process in collaboration with um, the visa team at DBS Malta. Uni College Link is going to support you and assist you to submit your visa application. All right. So still on visa, still on visa. I wanted to know again. And you know that a lot of Nigerian students, African students, really, are interested in traveling with their spouses or their children, their dependents, generally. So does a student visa in Malta allows students to come in with their dependents? Or is there
Um,
at any point in time where the dependents can join them?
yes, so thank you for that question. It's also very important because, of course, Nigerian students like to travel with their dependents. So for Malta, students are not allowed to travel with their dependents immediately. You have to travel, finish your program in Malta, get a job, and then you can invite your spouse or your dependent to join you in Malta. Because they are coming on a separate visa. It's called the Maltese Family Reunion Visa. So you finish your program, get a job, and then you can fight for your dependents to join you in Malta, and they can stay with you as long as you are in Malta. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Chair. So again, students are interested in knowing if they are able to like work while they study. Does the Malta
Yes, yes.
does the Malta
Students are allowed to work 20 hours per week. So as a student in Malta, you can work while you're studying for 20 hours every week.
all right, great. Uh, Guys, I hope you're learning something from this conversation because I am learning a lot myself. So yeah, Jill, now we're talking about work, right? How do you describe like a typical, you know, working condition in Malta? Like, typically the working hours, do you think students are able to like, strike a balance while students are working, going to school? What advice do you have for students in that regard?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's also a very interesting question. So at GBS, we have flexible study options. Student can study in the morning or in the evening. So depending on your work hour, you can always, or your shift, you can always navigate through work and studies. So we have flexible study options. You can choose to study in the morning or in the evenings. So depending on the shift that suits your work and then the time that you have to study. So yes, students have to strike the balance because of the flexible study options that we have. And then of course, students are entitled to 20 hours per week. So you're not working the full time or the whole day. So depending on the shifts or you have, you can decide to come to class in the morning or go to work in the evening. So yes, we have that available for students so they can strike the balance.
All right, thank you. So this would be my final question before we go into the Q&A session. Right.
Mhm.
Uh, Now that I've talked about the admission, we've talked about the visa process. Now the student is done, right? What does life after school look like for international students in Malta, right? I also remember that you talked a bit about the cost of living in Malta, and you did hint on how affordable. I mean, you talked about accommodation, you talked about feeding, right? Um, I mean, I wanted you to hint on that a bit more, right? Now that the student is done with school, what do you think the life is what I also remember that the get qualified scheme thingy that's also applicable, So what
Mhm.
are some of those other perks, that international students may enjoy, after school?
Okay, so let me start with the Get Qualified scheme. Now, the Get Qualified scheme is also one of the features why a student should study in Malta, why I would convince a student to study in Malta. So now you ask, what's the Get Qualified scheme? Now, this scheme was introduced by the Maltese government whereby a student comes to Malta, finish their program in Malta, their studies, whether master's or BSc, you finish your program, and then you stay back in Malta. So let me also say this, that in Malta, you have 9 months post-study. So when you're done with your program, you have 9 months to stay in the country, and within that 9 months, you're expected to get a job, and your employer would issue a work permit, which enables you to stay in the country. Now, the Get Qualified scheme was introduced by the Maltese government, where a student comes to Malta, you finish your program, get a job, and start working. The government pays back 70% of your tuition fee back to you in form of tax credits. Yes, you heard that right. 70% of your tuition fee. So if your tuition fee is 10,000 euros, the government pays you back 7,000 euros when you start working in Malta. When you finish, stay back and start working, the payment comes in form of tax credits. Now, students will ask me, oh, are there job opportunities? Now, the government did this because Malta is it's an island, it's a very small country, the population is not much. So the Maltese government don't just want students to come to Malta, finish your program and go back. They want to retain the knowledge that you gain from the country and stay back in the country and contribute to the growth of the economy. That was why this Get Qualified scheme was introduced. Now, there are numerous job opportunities in Malta. It's left for you to know where you want, which job you want to do, and that. So there are numerous job opportunities. When I was introducing Malta, I mentioned that Malta is has one of the lowest unemployment rates in Europe. So meaning that there are numerous job opportunities. And where our campus is located is in St. Julian's. That's where the islands are. So Malta is a tourist country as well. So there are so many expatriates who come in for tourist activities. So there are lots of job opportunities in the tourism and hospitality management sector. So yes, as a student, you definitely get a job. You have 9 months to stay back, and within that 9 months, you're expected to get a job and start working. So life after school in Malta is very interesting because you have 9 months to stay back, and then you have a job waiting for you. You have jobs that you can transition to when you finish your work, and then you have the Get Qualified scheme that you also have to enjoy as a student that just finished, and then you just get a job. The government pays you 70% of your tuition fee back. So yes, life in Malta after school is very interesting. And as a student, I think that should be one of the main reasons that will attract me to stay back or to go to Malta to study, so that I will enjoy the 70% of my tuition fee back.
All right, thank you very much. Iye. I know I said that this is going to be my last question, but while you were talking, apologies, I just thought about something. I
Oh,
think
no worries. That's why I'm here.
our guests to be very steady. So now that we've talked about life after school, right? Is there like a route, talking about the immigration route? I know that a lot of students became particularly interested in Canada because of the immigration pathways available in Canada, right? We also learned about the UK and about other destinations, about the different immigration pathways that are available. Is there immigration pathway available in Malta where can actually come into Malta as a student and then over time get the permanent residency or even become, uh, um, whatever it is, become nationalized or whatever in Malta? Is there like an immigration pathway in this regard?
Yeah, I think the Malta has that offer. I'm not particularly 100% sure, but I know that if there are a couple of years when you stay back in Malta, after a couple of years, you can apply for a PR, but I'm not very sure about that. So let me not give false information. Yes, but I'm not sure about the number of years you have to stay back before you start applying. But yes, that is also in place. You stay a couple of years back in Malta, and then you'll be eligible to file for your PR.
Yes, 40 minutes with you. Thank you for throwing more light on all of these questions that we've had. So we're going to jump into the chat box now to see what questions we have there, because I could see that a lot of questions have been rolling in while you were speaking. So we'll just take it after the other. Guys, apologies if I skip your question. We just answered. So we might have to like skip your questions if you have already answered, because time. So Daniel Iloma is asking, is there option to work and study in Malta? What are the availability of side jobs for students in Malta? Yes, Chinyere said that, yeah, you are able to 20 hours during school time. Chinyere, I don't know if it's same where students can actually work full time during holidays, maybe
Mm,
inter-semester breaks, as students work full time, or it's still the same 20 hours.
No, during the 20 hours is during study. So at during vacation, of course, yes, they can work full time. But while they are studying, they are only entitled to work 20 hours per week.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Emmanuel Adiboye says 500 to 650 euros, right? Or per multi per month. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm referring to the accommodation, the cost of the accommodation. You did mention that accommodation in Malta averages around 500 to 650 euros
Yeah.
per month. Yeah, got that correctly. Emmanuel. Idris says, can students come along with family and dependents? Unfortunately, Idris, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Not immediately, as you rightly explained, not immediately. You cannot go for your student visa and go with your dependents or your partner. However, there's an opportunity for you to get done with your school, get a job, and then your families can then join you with the family visa. Rich said, do you have only, of course not. I think she did give a rundown of other programs are available aside the MBA that has five different options. I think I find that part interesting, right? It gives students a lot of opportunities to, choose from their diverse categories of MBA that you could choose from. Aside the MBAs, she did mention the MA as Master of Arts in Business and Management, and of course, Master of Arts in marketing and brand management. And of course, there's the bachelor's BA program as well. So, Catherine, yes, Amaka
Sorry,
says,
please let me just chip in. Yeah.
all
So
right, please,
I'm sure some science students will be like, oh, there is nothing for them. Yeah, for the
mhm.
MBA, we have MBA project management. So now that is the area that science students can come in. Any science program that you did, you can do the MBA in project management. And this is one of the fast selling MBA programs that we have. We have a lot of students, a lot of our students in campus are going for that project management. So whether any science program that you studied, you can fit into the MBA in project management. So do not say, oh, you're a science student, all the courses are business. The MBA in project management is for you. So students who are in the science session can also do that.
All right, thank you, Chair. So, Catherine says, is there a September intake?
We have October intake rather. So after May intake, the next intake is October.
All right. I think Emmanuel falls under the category of science students, like we just Emmanuel says he has a degree in computer science. Right. Emmanuel, I see you just mentioned, um, actually you just mentioned if you are interested in Malta, then um, hello, am I still audible?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Chris seems like Chris is frozen. His internet is bad.
Good afternoon. Chinny. I
Good
think
afternoon.
Chris is having some network issue. He should be joining anytime soon. But time from the marketing
Okay.
team
Okay, so let me just go on
from
with the
Skynet
question.
Consult. I think, yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Mustafa is asking, is there diploma in IT? No, Mustafa, at the moment we don't have any diploma program. Catherine is asking, any payment plan for the MBA program, or is it a one-time payment? Yes. So for the MBA program, you ought to pay the full tuition or before we process your visa, before visa application. So but you can pay in 2 installments. So you can pay let's say you pay half of 7,500 and pay the remaining before your visa application. But we have to receive the full payment before you start your visa application process. So in otherwise, full payment is required. Emanuela is asking, does GBS accept 2-2 and HND programs? That's a very interesting question. Yes, for the MBA program, we accept 2-2, we accept third class, we accept HND plus diploma program. So if you have an HND and you have a PGD, HND plus a postgraduate diploma, you can go for our MBA program. And if you have a third class, you can go for the MBA program. If you have 2-2, you have to go for the MBA program. Now, for the MA Marketing and Brand Management and MA Business Management, the ones awarded by Bartspar University, we only accept at least 2-2. If you have anything less than 2-2, you can't apply for the programs. But if you have 2-2 or third class or HND and postgraduate diploma, you can apply for the MBA program. Then the next question, after graduation, does Malta give postgraduate work permits, or does one need to leave? So there is postgraduate work opportunity for students. You have 9 months to stay back in the country at the end of your program. And within that 9 months, you're expected to get a job and then start working. So you transition to a work permit that will be given to you by your employer. Shegu is asking, is there post-study visa? If yes, how many years? Okay, I just answered the question. Yes, there's 9 months post-study. Is it only MBA Marketing Management that allows third class and HND? So MBA Marketing Management, like I said, the MBA program has 5 specializations. So you either go for MBA Marketing Management, MBA Management Consulting, MBA Entrepreneurship, MBA Project Management, and MBA Global Investment Banking. These are the 5 MBA that you can go for with your third class and with HND plus postgraduate diploma. We don't accept just HND. If you have HND and then postgraduate diploma, yes, you can apply for the MBA program. So no MSc courses. Emmanuel, I just answered that. So we have MBA program, then we have MSc Marketing and Brand Management, and then MSc Business and Management. Is there a PDF or a slide to view? Okay. David is asking, what is the tuition deposit for getting visa? Yes, so David, we urge students to pay the full tuition. However, for the MBA program, it's compulsory that you pay the full tuition before visa application. And for the MA Marketing and Brand Management and the MA Business Management, you can pay 50%, but we encourage students to pay more to aid them in their visa outcome. What other courses are there? I just mentioned that now. Do you have other courses like science courses? No, for now, we don't have any science program. Maybe towards the end of next year, we would introduce that. David is asking, how about September intakes? What other courses? I think I've answered that as well. All the courses are available. So at GBS, we have 3 major intakes. Let me also highlight that we have 3 major intakes. We have the February intake, May, and then October intake. So right now we are recruiting for May. After May intake, it's October intake. And after October intake, that's all for next year. So all the courses are available for all intakes. Is there anything like proof of fund? Yes. There is proof of fund, 10,000 euros, at least 10,000 euros has to be in your account for 6 months. So if you're thinking of applying for May intake, that means by now you should start building your account because it's 6 months. So by February, before you start your visa application, you should have up to, the bank statement should be up to 6 months. Like I said, the closing balance is what is required. No lump sum should be deposited at a time. we want to see an inflow and an outflow with a closing balance of 10,000 euros in the account for the last 6 months. How much is the VFS fee? You skip that. Oh, okay, the VFS fee is 160 euros. That's the VFS fee. Then the visa fee is 150 euros. The VFS fee you have to pay before you go for your VFS appointment. So a link will be sent to you. You make the payment. Then when you go to VFS office for your VFS appointment, you will pay the visa fee. How much is the VFS fee? 160 euros. Okay. Emanuela, how much proof of fund does one need to start visa? So proof of fund is 10,000 euros, at least 10,000 euros. You can have more than that, but the least you should have is 10,000 euros. No lump sum is required at a time. Okay. David, like, are they employing people there? David, we are talking about the student route, not about the employment route. So what we are talking about here is the students' academics, not the employment aspects. Emanuela, how do partners come in? Does GBS give permission? You have to apply. If you're applying for any of our program, please apply through Skynet or Unilink. You can contact Chris after this so that he will give you the consultation that you need. Do you support students in getting jobs after graduation? No, we don't. We don't. Do they speak English? Yes, David, Malta is officially an English-speaking country. They speak Maltese and they also speak English. So there are no language barriers in Malta. Can there be 2 sponsors? Can one present 2 accounts as proof of fund? As long as it's the same person, you can't use your uncle and then you use your auntie. No, it's not possible. If it's your uncle and your uncle has 2 different bank accounts, that makes sense. But you can't be using Emeka and then you're using Afoma as your sponsor. No, it has to be one person. Kinde is asking, is there a need for proof of booked flight tickets? It has to be it's not a must that you must book the flights. A reservation can be made. Just a reservation is okay. How about Masters of Science? So we have only Masters of Art and then the MBA program. Okay. There's option for students. Okay. What is typical jobs do international students do? Okay, basically there are jobs in so many sectors, but like I said, the IT sector and then the hospitality and tourist sector is what is also booming in Malta. So there are job opportunities in these areas. Please, can HND apply for this? Yes, if you have HND if you have HND and you also have postgraduate diploma, yes, we can accept you for the MBA program. Let me also emphasize that students who are going for the undergraduate program, for the BSc program, the maximum age we accept is 23 years. We don't accept students who are older than 23, and the study gap should not be more than 1 year. That is for the BSc program. For the MBA program, there is no study gap and there is no age limit. Mustafa is asking, do you pay school accommodation per month or once? You can pay as you want, but for visa purposes, just 1 month's accommodation is needed for your visa application. You need just 1 month, and you can either book with GBS or you can book with any accommodation. If you have any accommodation, if you have parents there or you have a guardian there, then you have to present a proof of payments if you are going with any other accommodation, or you have to give us details of the accommodation where you'll be staying with. But with GBS, the least accommodation we have is 640 euros, and that is the shared private room. Emmanuel is asking, what's their visa acceptance rate compared to other? Okay, now that's also an interesting question. Yes, so as at as of this year, or the February intake that is coming in, we've received quite a number of visa outcomes for February intake. So I will tell you that the visa success rate is 80-20, 80% success. So we have a lot of visa success coming in, or that came in for October intake and are still coming in for February intake. Like I also said during the introduction, 50% of our students in our campus are Nigerians. That is half of our students in Malta are Nigerians. That's to tell you that the visa chances are very high as well. As long as you meet all the requirements, that's why we encourage students that the visa aspect is a very important aspect, because if you don't get your visa right, that could hinder your visa outcome. So always have the amount that is required and present all the documents. Go for your visa interview, go for your VFS interview, and then that will guarantee you your visa. Foluso is asking, please, I live and work in Dubai, but I want to submit my applications from Nigeria. Is that possible? Yes, please, it's possible. Please contact Chris. He would help you out with submitting the application. David is asking, how do we set in motion for the MBA program? How do we set in motion? If you're asking, David, if you're asking how do you start, please contact Chris. You can just send him a message right away so you can start the application process. Like I said, we are recruiting for May intake at the moment. So please, if you want to submit applications, if you want to go for May intake, even if September, you're looking at October intake, you can start gathering all your documents. Like I said, we need official transcript, original certificate. Most students do not have that ready. So you can start going to your school to request for your original certificates and your original official transcripts. I have a degree in mass communication. What MBA program? You can fit into entrepreneurship. You can fit into project management. You can fit into consulting as well. Yeah. So Mustafa, you can fit into any of this. You can also contact Chris so that he can guide you on how to go about it. If you have access to the chat, kindly answer. Okay. Hilda is asking, I have a diploma in civil engineering. Can I apply for? Yes, Hilda, perfect. Civil engineering aligns very well with project management. So please, yes, you can apply. Please contact Chris so that you can submit your applications right away. Emmanuel Ajipo is asking, is there a waiver for test of English? Yes, so Nigerian students are allowed to just get MOI. So if you have your MOI, that is medium of instruction, is a letter from your school stating that your program was taught in English language. So that's what is required with your NECO or WAEC. So if you have that letter, of course, you don't need IELTS or TOEFL or Duolingo. However, we accept that if you have IELTS, TOEFL or Duolingo, if you don't want to go to your school to request for the letter, then you can give us the IELTS or TOEFL. Becken is asking, how much is the application fee? So there is no application fee. We don't accept application fee. There's no application fee for GBS. Are there diploma courses to take with WAEC or ND? Are there diploma courses? No, we don't have diploma courses at Deyinka. Do GBS Malta accept Benin Republic certificates for international students? Does it have any effect? No, we don't, Emmanuel. We don't accept Benin Republic certificate for master's courses. If you have a Benin Republic certificate, you're going to start from year one, because we recognize at GBS, the Benin Republic certificate is recognized as a diploma. So you have to start from the bachelor's degree program. So we don't accept it for master's. How does the visa interview work? Yeah, so it's just we have we prepare students also for the visa. So before you go for the visa interview, we would have a visa training mock interview. Our visa team will have a mock interview to prepare you ahead of the interview. So that's one of the special things that we do at GBS, which I don't think any other school in Malta does, that we give you a visa mock interview to prepare you ahead of the interview. So you don't have to bother about that. When you get to the visa process, you file in your visa documents, then we would have a mock interview with you. Let me also state that we have admission interview, which is different from the visa interview. So during the admission stage, depending on the students, we would have an admissions interview, which is different from the visa interview. So for visa, we have a mock interview with the student to prepare you ahead of the interview. How much is an hour work there? This is to know if students can afford their rent and feeding by working for 20 hours. So the average salary per week is 213 euros. And then average salary for a month is, the base is 1,500 to 2,500 euros per month. That is the average earning in Malta. Foluso is asking, please, I live and work outside Nigeria. Please, I've answered. Chris, you need to contact this student. I think he's really interested. He said he lives outside Nigeria and wants to submit application. How do I contact Chris after the session? Chris, please, after you can drop your details so that they would contact you. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
He has already dropped that. Okay.
Yeah,
Will
so
school
I
visa is denied. Okay. Go on, Chris.
okay, thank you, Chinwe. My network just chose to play me dirty today. I don't know, kept throwing me out. And thank you for holding for. So
Okay.
yeah, our contact details are there. I've dropped it on the chat box. So what you could do, I mean, there are two options. You could either visit the website www.unicollegeday.com, sign up on our powered CRM, and then just submit your application directly, and someone back can get your application and process it. But what you could also do is send us an email, info@unicollegeday.com or info@tiningconvert.com. So we have a team of dedicated student support officers as well as admissions coordinators that would be, taking charge of your application. You could also reach out to us via our social media handles, Instagram or Twitter. I will be glad to take it up from there. Right. But need I also say that yes, you want to reach out to us, do not worry, just send us a DM. Your application will go through me either way. So yes, at some point we'll have an opportunity to get to speak with each other.
Okay, I think there is one last question. Will school refund if visa is denied? Yes, we refund there. So in case of visa denial, your tuition fee and your accommodation will be refunded to you. Only 200 euros will be deducted for bank charges and administrative fee. So yes, you will get your full refund. 200 euros will be deducted for bank charges and administrative fee. Do we submit our certificates via courier or scanned? You can scan and send, but for your official transcript, if you have it, you can send or you can have it sent to us by your school. Is there any application fee? I've mentioned that. So I think I'm done. I studied microbiology. Can I apply? Yes, please. You can apply. It's not fully funded. No, it's just 25% scholarship. So as you did microbiology, you can apply for the MBA in MBA in project management. The tuition fee is 10,000 euros with the 25% scholarship is 7,500. I think I've done justice to all the questions. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so very much, Chinyere. Yeah, you have done justice to the conversations, and even when okay, so we have one question from YouTube because apparently we are streaming live on YouTube as well, and
Okay.
on Telegram as well. So Annabello, just before we wrap up, Chinyere, Annabello says um question to ask for Malta PR pathway after graduation. How long is PGWP and how easy is it to renew? What is the cost of living for international students? So Hannah Bello, we have, unfortunately, let me not say unfortunately, we have answered this question a couple of times. We have talked about all of these questions you raised. But what I would recommend for you to do now is reach out to us, send us a DM or send us an email, and I'll be glad to schedule a one-on-one with you. And of course, everyone here who's interested in having a one-on-one session with myself or any member of the team, please let us know. Send us an email, and if you do, we'll be able to attend to all of your individual questions. So Annabello, Karen, if you could, admin, if you could drop uh, the email on YouTube so that our YouTube followers can access that as well. Right. So Emmanuel says I lost connection at this point. I asked for being a public certificate acceptable. Thinking here, the answer was no. If for master's programs, right, it's not
Yeah.
acceptable for master's programs. You have to do a BSc. Thank you, Manuela. Thank you for reiterating that. All right, guys. It's been an amazing 1 hour with you. Thank you so very much, Chinyo, for making our time. I know how busy you are. We're able to make out time, to talk to our amazing prospects and applicants, right? Thank you so much for your time, guys. I always say that the best time is now, right? There's never been a best time than now. We have had multiple events, like several events, webinars, live sessions, and then we see people so fired up to start their process. But for some reason, immediately after the webinar ends, they just go to sleep and say, "Oh, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start next day, I'll start next month," right? Um, Again, like I said, the best time to start is now. Applications are currently, the school is currently taking applications for May 2025. So if you're looking to move to Malta, study in Malta, May 2025, then now is the time for you to reach out to us. Send us a DM, send us an email, send your documents to us. Let's have our team of experts speak with you, review your application, and see what programs best fit you, and then we can submit your application. All right. Chinyere, if you have any final words before we go, that would be great as well, so that we could call it a day.
Okay. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you. So like I said, we have the main intake open. Please, I know as we've done this webinar now, a lot of you, with all the information you have, now is the right time for you to apply. Like I said, for you to enjoy the 25% scholarship for the MBA program in Malta. Please send in your applications to Skynet. They would help you if you want a one-on-one consultation, even though you're not in Lagos. You can join online, and then they will cancel you submit your applications, and let's get it started, please. And if you have any other question, please contact Chris and Skynet for any further questions. Maybe there are some things that you missed out. Can see some people are saying they lost connection, so they missed out something. So please connect to Chris, or the account details for the Twitter and Instagram accounts has been dropped here, the email address as well, and the link to the portal, so you can submit your application. Now is the best time. Don't say, "Oh, let me wait till September." Time waits for no one. So start now and then submit your applications, and then we'll guide you. You get your admissions, get your visa, and then you're there in Malta. You join the rest of the 50% of the students we have in Malta to enjoy all that Malta and GBS has to offer. Thank you guys for joining. It was an amazing session. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you very much, Thierry. Thank you, guys. So again, let's have the conversations back end, right? We are here to support you every step of the way, from the start of your application until when you arrive at your desired country, Malta. Even after you have arrived Malta, we'll stay here, to constantly support you. We do have a community. We have a Telegram channel of a community for more students are studying in Malta, and applicants who are interested in studying in Malta. Do want to reach out to us. We have to get you on that community as well, where you can receive all of the support that you need. Thank you very much, guys. It's been an amazing time. Thank you, Chinyere. Until later,
Thank
we're
you.
going to call
Yeah.
you. Bye bye.
Okay. Yeah, bye.